Yo, brother, it's time for us to start talking the real, man. We've been sugarcoating too much. We've got to start calling everything out for what it is.
Hey guys, I'm here with my Master Pro and a box of goodies that I just received for it. This is the Clark Pad or Clark Pads complete protection system for the Master Pro. It's the front and rear bumpers and the fairing system and a seat. I also got some pads for it. So I'm really excited to put this on now. This is not an inexpensive accessory for the Master Pro. Not including the power pads, I think it's about $470. Shipping is about $40, I think, thereabouts. And since I live in the great state of California, I get to pay about 10% sales tax. So when you add everything up, this cost me about $560 to my door. Ouch. But this is a protection system, which, by the way, I think looks really cool, for what I may be my favorite wheel of all time. For the kind of riding I do, I just love to go up in the mountains and cruise forever. And this is my dream wheel. I think I'm going to have it for a long time, probably quite a few years. And I want to protect it and keep it looking nice, and also add some functionality. So, I'm willing to put some money into it, and, keep in mind that if you have a Master Pro, you probably have disposable income to be able to afford to buy this beast of a wheel. So maybe spending a little money on the protection system isn't too bad, but everyone's calculus is different. I'll let you be the judge. So I'm going to open this guy up, dump everything out, and show you all the parts before I install it. All right, this is everything in the box. Actually, I had pads in the box too, so if you don't get pads, your box might be a little smaller than what I received. All right, so you get instructions. Thank you from Chris. Chris is a great guy, by the way. I've known him for a while, ridden with him. He's one of us. Important. There's definitely an emphasis on watching the videos that he has created to put this together, which obviously I would encourage you to do. Nice QR code to easily get to the video. Another link to the video, and a summary of the hardware that you get. And it looks like he gives you an extra, except for a couple items where there's only 2 screws, he gives you an extra one just in case you lose one, or maybe he miscounts when he puts it together. So that's good. And I have watched the videos, and I'm ready to install. This is the fairing, and all the Velcro comes pre-installed. So these are aluminum, as he mentions on his website. They're laser cut, so it doesn't look like it's quite handmade, that's for sure. I love these. These are registration tabs, so there's no doubt how this gets installed on the wheel. They just register against the battery packs. So this is going to stick on the side of the battery packs, and then whatever pads you choose to use can stick on this side. Here are the rear bumpers, or rear bumper, but it's 2 parts. Let's see. The seat, which is cool. I guess he says it raises it half an inch. Almost looks like it could be an inch, almost an inch maybe. I don't know, but gives you a little additional height. I must say these prints look really nice. I think maybe he's using a finer nozzle than he did on some previous, like the bumpers I have on my Monster Pro. and EXN, they were definitely a coarser print. This is the front bumper, massive beast, and definitely higher quality prints. And it looks like elements of this, like this part, the black part, is really a hard plastic, whereas this is softer. And then I like this touch. Of course, I went with red, by the way, as you can see. These inserts are leather, thin leather, but still leather. So it's kind of a nice touch. Again, this black piece, hard plastic, is screwed onto this part. It's got a reflective panel on the back of the seat. That's good. Again, these rear bumpers, these are leather highlights, which again I think is cool. And plenty of Velcro to attach to your wheel. The good stuff from 3M. And that's it. So let me start installing this. Okay, I've cleaned all the dust and stuff off the side of the panels. This is remnant from the removal of the Bigoti side pads, but it's all still really sticky, so that's just going to help stick this. So I'm going to put a piece here, here. I'll cut this in half, a third one to fill in that area. Okay, installing the fairing. Looks like it couldn't be easier than this. I'm gonna line up these tabs against the battery, which is good. Maybe I'll go this from the top, yeah. That's it. From my experience, Velcro, once it gets used for a little bit, leg pressure and it is like really strong stuff. So that's pretty easy. Okay, so as Chris explains in the video, there are slots in the bumpers that these tabs slide into. Of course, I've removed the two forward bolts and the battery packs, the front and the back, which the bumper screws into. So you can feel it goes right in really nicely. And I'll be using these replacement bolts that Chris provides. And now the 3 wood screws that secure the front. The back bumpers have a slot that this tab fits into. So that's pretty easy. Again, 2 screws up here. And finally, 3 of these wood screws through that metal tab. And into the material. These are probably the most awkward of the screws to install. I guess I need a smaller screwdriver. And the last part to install is the seat. This lip goes underneath the metal framework below the seat, the stock seat. And I removed the 2 bolts that hold the seat on in the back. So it slides over really easily. You got the 2 new bolts, long ones. And then wood screws here. And the last thing I'm going to install are these new Titan pads from Clark Pads. I'm not sure, but these might be the largest pads they've made yet, and they look beautiful. Now, 3D printed power pads are great. Of course, Clark Pads also sells those, but if you have a choice, the foam are the best, in my opinion. And I know Chris goes through a lot of effort to use high quality foam that wears good. So this stuff is firm but yet soft enough and tough. So I'm going to put these on just like this for the time being, and when I take it for a ride, I'll make the final adjustment. Now these are designed such that if you need to, you can cut out a center strip so you can make these 2 parts independent of each other. But these are going to provide, for how I'm going to be riding the Master Pro, I don't need to be locked in totally. So these look like they'll provide enough support for my legs, allow me to move still, and get all the power. Definitely I'll get a lot better support than I do on the stock pads that come with this wheel. There's just a few critiques I would have for this setup if I were to make any changes. One is the fairing panel that it kind of everything's attached to. So it's aluminum, great, but I would rather not see the aluminum. I think it tracks a little bit from the overall look. I love the red color I chose with the black accents, and I think the raw aluminum detracts a little bit from that. So my choice would have been either cover everything in black Velcro, which would kind of actually be hard probably, or preferably provide them painted black. I suppose you could do that yourself, but you'd have to remove the Velcro. And at $470, you probably shouldn't have to do that. But again, this is subjective, of course. Along those lines also are the choice of the wood screws used throughout. And let me get something real quick. Okay, I'm back. All the wood screws, which are functional, of course, but they're your basic zinc-plated screws. And these bolts, that's no problem. You don't really see those, but many of these are close to the surface, including these ones which attach the black pieces. So I would have gone with a black wood screw. Now I do woodworking, so I know you can source black wood screws, bronze, all different kind of finishes. I don't happen to have the size needed, otherwise I would have used my wood screws. But anyway, again, subjective. I just think would have black accents for all the screws would have looked nicer. And the final part would be, I think this is a missed opportunity, this gap up here where you can still see the battery cables, everything's exposed. Not that I'm worried about the exposure, but everything is really nicely protected right now and covered, yet this remains. I think, I don't know, probably maybe if it extended the seat, made a part that kind of continued on and fit in this section right here, and that would have totally covered this opening right here, and would have looked cool too. Maybe have a part that covers this gap too. I think that maybe version 2 for Chris works on. I think that would be my only critique for this setup. All right, guys, what do you think? Is that not beautiful? I love the look. Gives it just, I don't know, it's a beefier look, which personally I like. I love the red with the black accents. Functional. I feel like it's, with the combination of the front and the back. The power pads, I can lay it down on the side or it falls over. It's going to be pretty well protected. Now for picking this guy up, let's see. So you can still you can pick it up. I don't think it's easier than without all this stuff on, because this is a little bulkier now in the back when you grab it. This actually has some nice finger holes underneath this section. And also, let me see if I turn this off. This kind of looks like this flat panel part, that it would function as a front kickstand, but no, it doesn't. It doesn't rest in that part, so it will just fall over. So there is no, you don't get a front or rear kickstand with this configuration. You're still stuck with the single one from Bigode, which works, but it's not the best. So I'll probably still opt, if I have a choice, to lean this up against a tree or a wall if I can. So beautiful. Well, this is what you're going to be seeing for the next, hopefully maybe the next few years as I'm doing my long distance riding, at least until Bigode comes out with the 5800 watt hour Master Pro X or something, who knows. But this will probably do me good for 2023 anyway. All right, guys, I hope this video was useful. And until next time, safe riding.